Okay, so you've had the one on paper, and you've seen the nice young lady who's here live. Now it's time to see if I can figure out this gizmo enough to give you the virtual applicant.
Hello, honors students. My name is Scott Keller, and I graduated from Eastern Illinois University in December of 2008. I am currently a second year medical student at the University of Illinois College of Medicine, and I was asked by Ms. Schmidt to say a few words on what I was able to do and what opportunities were afforded to me at Eastern Illinois University. She specifically asked me to talk about my work abroad, one of those being clinic work in West Africa and Ivory Coast, and the other being a pharmacology research position at the University of Cambridge. So I guess first off, how did I end up getting involved with work abroad? Um, I don't really know how my interest got cultivated. I think it was kind of a pure curiosity and from reading and being exposed to other people who have been abroad and lived abroad. But I was lucky enough to meet a doctor and his wife who ran a mission in Ivory Coast, and they invited me to come work in their clinic for a summer. And I decided that'd be a great opportunity. So there I was working with them to draw blood of several village people and people of the city that we worked in to test for the presence of HIV and then evaluate their status if they were positive and kind of help them with counseling and treatment and whatnot. Uh, I had no idea how amazing that experience would be. I was able to take away from it like a great passion for the people of West Africa, and I'm actually in medical school partly because of that trip. It really opened up my eyes to what would be possible if I went to medical school and got proper clinical training. And so that's kind of my ultimate goal, is to be able to go and work in West Africa as a doctor. Um, and that kind of led me to where I am now in applying for the Rhodes Fellowship to go study at Oxford for 2 years. The program that I've selected is the Global Health Studies program, and I just thought that it would be a great addition to a medical education to facilitate me building networks of people to work in underdeveloped countries and also in facilitating the development of clinics over there. Um, and really, the Rhodes process has been a lot of fun. It's allowed me to kind of reflect back on what I did as an undergraduate and some of the opportunities that I had. Personal statement was kind of rough. I think we've gone through 20 iterations of that statement, but I think it's at a good place now. So I guess the other abroad opportunity that I had was to work as a pharmacology researcher at the University of Cambridge. And that opportunity was really nice. It was kind of on the opposite end of working in West Africa. It was a lot more of a hardcore basic science research bend to it, whereas working in West Africa was the polar opposite, being totally clinical work and very little basic science being presented there. But Cambridge really did allow me to kind of culminate an appreciation for basic science research, and it allowed me to experience a lot of Europe and England and just broaden my cultural knowledge and cultural respect for that matter. Um, and I guess kind of to wrap this up, the process that it took me to get to both of these opportunities, I really had to be persistent about fundraising for West Africa and about contacting the professor and researching the receptor work that I was doing or would be doing in Cambridge. And with Cambridge specifically, it took 2 emails and then a phone call before I was able to get a response back from my professor who I worked under. and it was just because he was so busy at the time that the emails didn't show up. Right? He didn't see them, and so it really does take persistence to get what you want done. So that's my final piece, I guess. Be persistent in what you want. If you really want it, then work hard for it, and it will definitely come true. Good luck.